Baltimore Ravens will welcome the Houston Texans into M&T Bank Stadium tomorrow afternoon. The AFC Divisional Round playoffs are here, and we're on the Flex Zone podcast, the only place giving you Ravens coverage how you want it when you need it. Ravens, Texans. I'm going to break it all down with that super preview for the divisional round right here on the Flex Zone podcast. Ravens flock, Ravens Nation. Welcome back here to the Flex Zone Podcast YouTube channel, only place giving you that Ravens coverage how you want it when you need it. It's the divisional round playoffs. It's the Baltimore Ravens welcoming the Houston Texans to M&T Bank Stadium. 4:30 kickoff, ESPN, ABC for your viewing pleasure. Troy Aikman and Joe Buck on the call. Ravens Texans, they played in week one. The Ravens dominated the Texans 25-9. These two teams are completely different. That game was ages ago. That game was in September. The Baltimore Ravens had no offensive identity. They could not score at will. Now they're one of the best teams, and Lamar Jackson is the MVP. And offensively, they can score in a variety of ways and hurt you, both in the run and the pass. The defense is the best in the league. Triple crown, sacks, turnovers, and points per game. The Texans came in with a rookie quarterback, but in the second half, you saw that spark. You saw the big-time it factor. The eye test that this brother, who is now a top 10 quarterback already, CJ Stroud, has potentially had the best rookie season for a quarterback in National Football League history. Rookie head coach Demeco Ryans, rookie offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, who may be a head coach. Two different teams. The Texans beat the Browns last week in the wild card. They won the AFC South. This was a team expected to be picking in the top 5, top 10 yet again. They get Stroud, they get Will Anderson, their pass rusher. They have something brewing and cooking down in H-Town. Now, when I think about this game, the weather definitely stands out to me. It's going to be in the teens tomorrow. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. We're having snow here today in Baltimore. With the wind chill, it's going to feel like single digits. Now in Houston, if you don't know, their weather has been very cold out in the Texas area. So they'll be okay. They've been practicing outside, as have the Ravens. But I just think the Ravens have to be the more physical team. They have to be able to not let happen to them, and I'm going to say it, happen to them what happened to them in 2019, which I don't think is happening because 2019, they seemed more cocky. They didn't really face much adversity to a degree. But you got guys who've been through it. Lamar Jackson, Marlon Humphrey, even though he's not going to play, we'll get into that in a second. Ronnie Stanley, Patrick Queen, Gus Edwards, just to name a few off the top of my head. Justin Tucker. They know what that loss felt like. They don't want to experience that again. They've seen what happened to the Cowboys. They've seen what happened to the Eagles. I like what the Ravens have done with their practice schedule. I like what they've done with their rotations of guys towards the end of the season. Not playing much against the Steelers, having that bye week, still getting your practices in, practicing at the stadium. All good things from John Harbaugh, who also experienced this in 2019. And don't you think he's going to learn from this? It's going to be cold, but I'd like to think that the weather won't play too much of a factor in this game. Like I said, throw out everything you saw from that 25-9 Ravens victory. CJ Stroud is a whole lot better. He's a top 10 quarterback. Lamar Jackson is the MVP yet again for the second time in 4 years. The Ravens have been as much as 10-point favorites, 9-point favorites, 9.5, 7.5. I think this is going to be a closer game than people think. And I said that when I announced that this was going to be the matchup last week after we saw the Bills defeat the Steelers. I do think this is going to be a nip and tuck game. But I do think the Ravens are the better team. They're the more physical team. They're the more talented team. And I still think they have the best player on the field, Lamar Jackson. Let's get to the injury report. Let's look at who may or may not be playing this week, as there's a lot of talk. First and foremost, Dalvin Cook was signed to the official roster. Melvin Gordon to the practice squad along with Laquan Treadwell. So we'll get some Dalvin Cook. We'll let Dalvin Cook tomorrow and see what happens with the brother. But Mark Andrews has been the biggest thing. He's been practicing. He's questionable for the game. Is this just to divert attention to Texans to make them game plan to stop Andrews? There's no way he's 100%. But are you risking a 50, 60% Andrews when you maybe could wait another week that he can be at 80%? And you can have him play in the AFC Championship game against a Kansas City or Buffalo and definitely have him revved up for the Super Bowl possibly? And if anything, he's at least a decoy. He at least makes the defense respect his presence on the field. So I don't know if he's going to play. He may try to give it a go. He may have some limited snaps. But if I'm the Ravens, I'm telling Andrews, let's keep the momentum. Let's keep heading the direction we're heading in. Let's keep stacking good practices. Let's hold you out into the AFC Championship game. Give you another week, and then you can make a run for the AFC Championship game. Have that week off, and then the Super Bowl. Marlon Humphrey looks like he's not going to play. Looks like it's confirmed calf injury. He's out. So Brandon Stevens, Ronald Darby, they will be the starting corners. And I like what Darby has done. Stevens has been a Pro Bowl caliber guy this year as well. He's done fantastic. Clowney's in. We will see the return of Devin Duvernay as Tylan Wallace is out. So we'll see what Duvernay can bring in the return game. Zay Flowers is good. Malik Harrison is good. Oweh is good. Deshaun Phillips is questionable, as I mentioned. Tylan Wallace is out. Darius Washington is questionable as well. We do have Jerry Hughes with the DNP, so he's out. We have Will Anderson Jr. He's good. We got Jonathan Greenyard, who has 12.5 sacks and leads the team. He's going to play. Robert Woods, Denzel Perryman, John Mechie, all will play as well. So here we are. Like I said, I think this will be a lot closer game, but I do think that the Ravens have a chance to pull away late. And as we get into the keys here, the Ravens know what they have to do. My first key is to start fast. Can't let them come out. You can't let them go down the field and score. You can't let them build momentum and build confidence. This is a fearless team. They don't know any better. They're not afraid of the moment. CJ Stroud has played in cold weather. He's played in big games before. You don't want Demeco Ryans and his coaching staff to feel confident, and then the pressure gets on you as a 1 seed, as the team with the best record in the NFL, the team that's been dominant over the past month and a half. Got to start fast. You don't want to have multiple 3-and-outs. Yeah, they may have a 3-and-out to start. They may be a little rusty. They haven't played game action in 2-3 weeks. A lot of these guys. But you don't want to have multiple 3-and-outs. You still want to come out and at least be tied at the end of the first quarter. You don't want to be trailing 7-0, 10-3. You want to at least be tied with these guys. You know what I mean? If not, already up 10-0. No turnovers. They mentioned that turnovers was a key in this game. They won 25-9, but it could have been 38-9 because 3 fumbles, I believe, 2 fumbles in the red zone, a lot of reckless, casual handling of the football, which has been corrected as of late, thankfully. And this offense had no identity. Now they don't have those simple mistakes. I think the little things have been tuned up nicely by Todd Monk and his staff and the players as well. Number 3, protect Lamar. They had 4 sacks last game. They have some guys who can get after the quarterback. Will Anderson, he's going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year most likely. 7.5 sacks. No Jerry Hughes, but we still have Jonathan Grenard. Jonathan Grenard, 12.5 sacks, led the team. He was banged up a little bit last week, but looks like he's going to give it a go. Got Sheldon Rankins who can get pressure on the interior. Keep Lamar upright. Don't let him get knocked on his back 4 or 5, 6 times. Let's keep it 2 or under. Stay away from Derek Stingley Jr. Derek Stingley Jr. is a big-time player. I know this team, his defense isn't great against the pass, but he's that Jalen Ramsey, Deron Bland, those type of guys at the cornerback position. Trayvon Diggs when he's healthy, Xavier Howard, Jair Alexander, Marshawn Lattimore, that if they get an opportunity to pick off a pass, that's 6 points back the other way, or at least a big return to switch field position. He's a very good corner. He's been like that since he stepped a foot in Baton Rouge and Death Valley. Don't give this brother an opportunity to make a play in this game, Lamar, because he might try to bait you in or try to jump around. Don't let it happen. Nico Collins. I'll get to that on defense in 1 second. These are offensive stats, so sorry about that. Use the passing game to set up the run game. I think they are going to have opportunities to pass against this defense. Don't be surprised if the Ravens do come out throwing the ball a little bit more. If they use some play action to later set up the run in the 3rd and 4th quarter to dominate the time of possession and wear down this Houston defense. Score touchdowns in the red zone is my last offensive key. I think the Houston offense has the capability to put up points. They're not going to go away easy. You're going to have to put up, I think, at least 25 or more points. So let's score some touchdowns in the red zone, and let's use the elements to our advantage. Defensively, this is where I'm getting to. Pressure Stroud. The Ravens had 5 sacks in the Week 1 win. The Ravens lead the league in sacks, lead the league in turnovers, and lead the league in points per game, the triple crown. Let's get after Stroud. Let's get it 5, 6 sacks. Let's pressure him. Let's make him move off his spot. Let's make him a runner, which he doesn't want to be. He's capable, but he's better when he's sitting back there comfortable in the pocket. Nextly, let's keep CJ Stroud at 250 yards or less passing. We don't want him throwing for 275, 280, damn near 300 yards, 2, 3 touchdowns. Keep him 250 or less. Let's keep these players contained. And that goes to my next key. Nico Collins is really that number one weapon, especially on the outside. He had a big game last week. Stevens, Darby. I think Stevens will primarily be on him with some safety help at times if needed. Keep him under 80 yards. Let's contain him because if he's not making plays, he doesn't have much else, does CJ Stroud. Then he has to hold on to the ball. Then you can get after him with the pressure of this defensive pass rush. Michael Pierce, Clowney, Van Noy. Van Noy wasn't even with the team when they played him the first time. Tackle well. This is a key every week on defense. This team had a lot of big yak plays, a lot of big yards after the catch, a lot of big touchdown plays last week. You got to tackle well. If they catch it for 5, don't let them get 20. If they catch it for 10, don't let them get 30. If they catch it for 15 across the middle, don't let that turn it into a 50-yard gain or a 65-yard touchdown. Set the edge and make them one-dimensional. Devin Singletary is good on the outside running with that zone scheme. Ravens have struggled and have fallen to 14th in defense against the run. Please stop the run, set the edge well. Don't let him get outside and get some of those big plays that they like on those pitches and tosses. Lastly, on defense, get off the field on third down. We don't want this team extending drives. We don't want them gaining confidence. I mentioned we don't want them getting plays that keep drives alive, keep our offense on the sideline and allow them to build momentum and really tire out our defense and expose them because then they won't be able to get a pass rush because they have a lot of older guys as well. Special teams, as I mentioned, no block kicks. We've been doing good with that as of late. Doesn't much else need to be said. Create a spark in the return game. I mentioned Devin Duvernay is back. Let's continue to see what he can do in the return game. Looks like he'll be good to go. Hopefully, maybe he can get a nice return, a 15, 20-yard return. Create a spark. There's 3 phases, everybody. Offense, defense, and the most forgotten one, special teams, which is only amplified in the playoffs. But offensively, start fast. No turnovers. Protect Lamar. Stay away from Stingley. Use the passing game to set up the running game and score touchdowns in the red zone. Now, the Ravens can rush the ball for 150 plus yards. I really, really like our chances to dominate and be the more physical dominant team. Defensively, pressure Stroud. Keep Stroud at 250 yards or less. Keep Nico Collins under 80 yards. Tackle well. Set the edge and make them one-dimensional. Get off the field on third down. Special teams, no block kicks, and create a spark in the return game. Now, don't forget, before I get my prediction, we'll be live after the game with the Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Hit the bell and hit the like button if you're watching this video as well. But I'm going with the Ravens. I mean, to give my prediction, to give my pick, I'm going with the Ravens to win. I do think that 10-point, 9.5, 9-point spread is a little high. Even I think 7.5 is a little high. I have actually a 7-point margin. I was kind of struggling with the score, but I just think our defense is going to be tenacious. They're going to be playing with a lot of energy. They're going to be flying around the ball, swarming to the football, hitting. If they can create maybe a turnover or 2 early, really get the crowd into it, which they'll be into it already, and really make these boys have to try to out physical us and really defensively with Mike McDonald, the pressure that he's going to draw up. And remember, he's auditioned to be a head coach. So he wants to continue showing that he's innovative. He's reluctant. He's tenacious. He is physical and aggressive on defense. I think his blitz concepts will be great against Stroud. And we may get a turnover or 2. Now, I do think the Ravens offensively are going to bring their A game. Like I said, they may start a little lukewarm, hopefully not too slow, but I think by the second quarter, heading into halftime, they're going to pick it up and really have an opportunity not only to run the ball, as I mentioned, but throw the ball and hopefully create an opportunity to make some plays in the red zone and get some touchdowns. Look for the receivers to step up. I need Zay Flowers. I need Odell. I need Bateman. I need at least one of you to make some plays. If we get Andrews back, he'll be able to do something, but like I said, likely has been fantastic as well. So we'll see what happens. And I'm looking for the Ravens to win 27-20. I think Lamar's locked in. I think Harbaugh's locked in. I think this team wants to get rid of that stigma. Lamar wants to get rid of that stigma of being one during the playoffs. Like Roger did a video on, people are saying he won't get the credit he deserves, even with multiple MVPs, even with the accolades and the wonderful stats and the wonderful moments. Until he wins that Super Bowl, That's all he's going to be judged against, and that's all that's going to matter. This is his year to do so. He's advanced as a player. He's light years better than he was in 2019. He's a better and more pure quarterback. He really has full control of this offense with Todd Monken right by his side. But Ravens flock, let me know how you're feeling. Flex on family, let me know how you're feeling with this game on Saturday. How are you? So you see here, out in your local area to the sports, to your restaurant, to your establishment, to watch the game and enjoy the game. Sound off in the comments. Let me know where you'll be watching the game. I'll be watching with some family. I know Big Raj, my co-host on the Ravens post-game show, will be with me afterwards. He is going to the game tomorrow, so I know bundle up if you're going. I know he'll be up there sitting with Dan the Fan and others. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys, if you're watching the game, it's on ESPN and ABC. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and ESPN crew, they do a great job. As I mentioned, we'll be live Saturday afternoon, well, Saturday evening after the game. It'll probably be before the Packers and 49ers hitting the halftime around that time. Since the game's at 4:30, we'll probably be live around 8:30, 9 o'clock. But sound off in the comments. Give me your predictions. Give me your keys to the game. Give me your X factors. Give me things you're looking forward to seeing. I'm excited to see how our defense responds and plays against CJ Stroud. And I'm excited to see what Lamar and his offense can do under Todd Monken under the brightest lights. Let's get that monkey off your back. Come on, let's get you to 2-3 and get you to your AFC Conference Championship game where we will host it for the first time in franchise history, either against the Chiefs or Bills. But hit the like button if you liked what you saw. If you didn't like it, let me know what you didn't like. Let me know what you liked. Hit the subscribe button. Appreciate and welcome all our new subscribers. We do Ravens content throughout the season, throughout the year. And we got a lot of videos on the channel, a lot of analysis, a lot of reactions, giving our thoughts, and the flagship podcast as well with clips from this past week's episode. God's favorite host, thank you for rocking with me all season. Hopefully, we'll have another week of Ravens preview and Ravens post-game show coming to you as long as the Ravens are alive. We'll be here on the Flex On Podcast, the only place giving you sports and your Ravens coverage, how you want it, when you need it. Signing off. I'm going with the Ravens to win 27-20 and the Ravens to advance to the AFC Championship game. We'll see you Saturday night for the Ravens post-game show. I'm excited, Ravens flock. Let's bring that energy. Stay warm, bundle up, and check in with the Flex On. Only place giving you that sports how you want it when you need it with the Ravens and much more. We'll see you Saturday night, the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Thank you guys for watching.